Hi boys and girls, it's art time with Mrs. Kime, and go ahead and get all your supplies ready and get ready to make art. And we're going to start as we always do, and let's get our hands ready. Let's rub our hands together. Let's wiggle our fingers. Let's open and close our hands. Let's roll our wrists one way and then let's roll them the other way. And today's project is a fun surprise foldable, and it is a Big Mouth Santa. So what we're going to do is start folding our paper first. We're going to take the bottom, so put it in front of you tall like a hamburger, and take the bottom and fold it up, make it meet at the top. Remember to match your corners and match across the top of your paper. And make a big line here. Now you can do this on notebook paper. You can do this on poster board. You can do this on anything. Even if you have junk mail, pull out a piece of junk mail and do this drawing. You don't have to have regular white paper. Now, we have this folded in half, and we're gonna take this bottom one, and we're gonna pull it down, and we're gonna fold it in half here to where our paper should open like this. So make sure that your paper opens this way. Notice how I can open and close it like this. We've done a few foldables in our class. If you're new to our channel, then you might not have folded your paper like this before. It should open and close this way. This is another view of how your paper should look. It should have a big part and make this little zigzag. And that's how we're gonna start. Now you need to get a pencil. I'm gonna start with a marker. You need to get out your pencil. But we're gonna start with our fold here in the middle, and since we're making a Santa Claus that opens up his mouth, we need to think through that a little bit, and we need to decide that the mouth needs to go on either side of this fold so Santa can open up his mouth. So what we're going to start with is making a very small line. It's a long line, but it's not going to have a big curve on it, and it needs to go this way. Then we're going to come down and make the other part come like this and back up. So that's going to be where Santa opens his mouth. And then right above this is going to be Santa's nose, and that's going to be an oval shape. And notice that Santa's face is going to be kind of long. This isn't supposed to look exactly the way Santa would look. So we're going to make this oval shape go here. That's his nose. And then what I want you to do is make a rainbow line here. And then over on this side, I want you to make another rainbow line here. And those are Santa's eyes. So you're gonna draw a line under it and a line under it. Those are his cheeks. And then you can add another rainbow line in here. You don't have to make his eyes this way. This is just a fun way to make it. You can make them however you want. Okay, so those are our Santa's eyes. And notice, boys and girls, my eyes aren't in the exact same spot, and that's okay, and I'm not gonna start over. Remember, we're just gonna keep working with what we've drawn. It's gonna be okay. Now we're gonna make these curved lines here. This is the top of Santa's hat. We're gonna make it come down like that. Then we're gonna have a little bit of Santa's hair coming down here, like this. Okay, so now we're gonna have this go into Santa's beard, and this is gonna kind of come into Santa's beard, and we're gonna make this to be the side of his face, and this be the side of his face right here. Okay, so now, and you can even add, if you wanted to add that part of his hat that comes down and has the little pom-pom on the end of it, you can add that right here, and you can make that kind of go up right there if you want to. So now what we're gonna do is open it up, and this is where Santa opens up his mouth really big. We're gonna connect some of our lines. So we're gonna connect this line here. We're gonna connect this line here. Then we're gonna also make this kind of wavy line come down. We're gonna make this wavy line come down here. And that is gonna be Santa's hair, where it kind of turns into his beard. And then this can still be part of Santa's face, so we can just bring this line down next to it, and bring this line down next to it, and just kind of let that disappear into his beard here. All right, so inside Santa's mouth, you can put whatever you want to. I'm gonna draw things like a candy cane, And this kind of looks like a little bit of our pumpkin that we did when we did our foldable pumpkin. There's a piece of candy. You might want to put cookies in his mouth because he's probably been at your house and he's probably been eating all the cookies. Here's a chocolate chip cookie that Santa might have eaten at your house. You can fill up Santa's mouth with whatever you want. He might have had a cup of coffee because he might have needed a cup of coffee to stay awake if he's delivering his presents all night. You can fill up Santa's mouth with whatever you want. So just draw anything inside of here. And so now I'm going to show you a little bit about coloring in your Santa. And if you have, you can color Santa whatever color skin tone you want. And I'm going to show you what that would look like if you have these Colors of the World crayons. I don't know that you do. But Santa can have any color skin you want him to. So we're going to color Santa with this really nice. This one is called Medium Almond. It's a really good skin tone color. I'm going to show you about how to layer your crayon colors. We've talked about this on other videos and in our art class to give Santa those rosy cheeks. You might know how to do this. We're going to color this in a little bit and I'm going to show you how to add that color. Remember, Santa's nose is usually red because he's outside in the cold. And we're going to add that too. So we're going to color all up through here. And since his face goes down, you can keep coloring down here. All right. So then you can take a red color if you want to add those rosy cheeks, and you color on top of that. And you can make Santa have those. And if you want Santa's, you can add some red to Santa's lips because he's been outside. You can do that at the top and the bottom here too if you want to. You could go back and add those lines across there if you want to add those lines there. Now Santa's eyes can be any color that you want them to be. We're going to give Santa some brown eyes today. We're going to give him some brown eyes over here. And then you can add this little part here for the pupil of his eyes. Now his nose is kind of red. It always says in the poem his nose like a cherry. So that's going to be kind of a red color. So we can layer that a little bit darker. We can add this medium almond again. And then we can take our red and we can press harder with our crayon and make his nose redder than his cheeks. And you don't have to color the whole nose in. So now I'm going to show you a little trick to add the hair and the beard because it's all white. But get your gray crayon and you can add some curls and it can show like Santa's curly beard. You can add those lines in here and his hair, and then you can even, we've talked about shading in our class, and you can even add, I'm going to move that so you can see a little bit better. You can add a little bit of shading around his hat to show. And then you can even add some shading down here in this palm hanging off his hat. And remember, this part is part of his hat hanging down. So I'm going to color this part red over here for his hat. Because his hat came around and hung down. Now when we make the big mouth Santa, his hat becomes really long. And remember, you might want to put a piece of paper under if you're going on the edge so that you don't draw on your table or your desk, wherever you're drawing. I'm going to just stop right at the edge of my paper so I don't accidentally draw, but watch where you're drawing. Always be careful when you're using markers and crayons that you stop next to that or puts a piece of paper under it to catch it. All right, you can, I'm gonna make his lips a little bit redder here. All right, you can add whatever you want to inside your Big Mouth Santa. I hope you had fun. I hope you have a great Christmas or happy holidays, and I will see you next time on Art Time with Mrs. Kime.